What's up, guys? This is Stunt Rob. We're in the garage today. It's a little bit rainy outside, so we're not going to be riding this weekend. But we're going to be working on the bike a little bit today. We got our old anniversary stunt tank that I previously built that was leaking at the gas, or not at the gas, but it was leaking gas at the track. So we did some JB Weld. Added a little bit more JB Weld to it. Probably gonna clean that up, see how that one works. But today we're gonna be making a new stunt tank. So I got some metal, got the welder out, got this one as kind of an example. I wanna change a few things, but we're gonna turn that onto that, onto that. Also, forewarning, I am in no way a fabricator or a welder. I actually picked up this Harbor Freight welder just to do this tank, and luckily this one turned out good. It's not leaking anywhere up there. It's held on there pretty solid. But as you'll probably see in the video, my welds are bad, but it'll hold, and we're gonna stunt on it. So first things first, let's grab this. We're gonna have to sand this down to metal just so we obviously can weld it. We'll sand just that top section. We'll probably sand the rest of the tank and repaint it, but we're really just working off this section, maybe the sides here. Got our extension all hooked up. Let's see if this old paint cutter wheel, the angle grinder, does a good job. All right, let's go at this thing. You helping, dude? That old paint thing on here is working real good. Probably gonna go a little bit further up, and then we'll start mapping out the little stunt piece, the little whale tail. Yeah, dude? Alright, so we got the tank all depainted. That wheel did a really good job. But brought it back just to our working area where we're going to be welding on there, and we want that nice, clean, no paint surface. So I think now what we're going to do, we're going to grab one of these pieces of sheet metal. What I'm thinking is kind of like that other one, except I'm going to go a little bit wider, is weld this straight to here and then probably cut a certain length, and then I'll start getting that little bend when I bend this down. Probably do like an inner brace and then start capping around, and then should be stunting. All right, so now what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna grab Sharpie, grab a piece of sheet metal. I think I want it to start somewhere around there, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark this a little bit longer than I need it. I'm gonna cut that short, and then we'll start getting the bend. Tack, tack, tack. Close in the sides. I think that should be good. Safety first. Got our line drawn. Let's cut this thing. So now that we got that piece cut, I'm thinking, so we're gonna tack this here, hammer these sides so they kind of round the edge so it's nice, and obviously clean that up at the very end, but and we'll start the bend. So we'll probably have this go down a little bit, give that nice little up swoop. We'll do a brace on the inside, and then we'll start working on the sides and the back. I'm gonna see if I can wrap it, make all the lines meet up really nice, and we'll weld this up, and then hopefully it stops raining. We'll go try it out. Basically, we're thinking Something along the lines of that. And then we'll obviously round the top out. I think we're going to go ahead and tack that on, see what that looks like real quick though. So we got our little ghetto magnet kind of holding us in place, but I think we got that general nice little butt pad going on. Got it pretty centered out. I think we'll go ahead and give it a couple tacks, and then we'll kind of trace out the pan shape that we want here. And we'll start welding it up. We got our little tack weld on there. Let's clean it up real quick. We're making progress. We got that. And it's eventually gonna look like that. We're getting there. Is that your buddy, dude? What's up, brother? Homie Haven just pulled up. Gonna do a little fork job on his sporty forks. What you got? What you got? What you got?
Don't judge the cleanliness of neighborhood.
And
Chromosomes, man.
the chromosomes, the chromie forks. All right, so we got the markings marked out. This tank definitely is gonna have a little bit wider of a print, but that's kind of what I'm thinking right there. We'll go ahead and we'll cut that, and then we'll figure out the side plates and everything, and then we'll weld it in. Quick little fork job, draining out his forks. I think we'll bring the angle grinder in here real quick, and we'll cut those corners off this guy. So I think before I cut this, just to give it a little bit more strength, I'm gonna run a weld across there because I know this is staying on there. Don't judge my welds. Like I said, don't judge, but it's on there. I'll go ahead and we'll cut these edges, and we'll start seeing about cupping in the sides here. What it looks like, we're making progress. The forks are all drained out, so we'll probably pop the cap and start tearing these apart as well. Almost there. Bam, just got the little cutouts on the side done. Not perfect, but might clean it up a little bit. It's looking good, looking good. Going, I can like cut it up. So now this is on there, got the rounded edges. So now we're gonna cap it in. So I'm thinking, kind of already marked it out, but we'll wall it in to the back. Let me just actually mark this one more time. Mark my corners, but we're gonna wrap this around, and then we'll cut the swoop on the side and we'll kind of cap everything in. And it should turn out like that other tank that we previously had built. So we're starting our bend. The other one I built was 3 pieces. I kind of want to cap this one in all the way around. Looks like we need a little bit more bend here. Definitely getting there. Making progress. Got the back piece welded on, top and bottom. Now we're just gonna kind of force bend it around, see where we need to cut off some pieces, and then we should be able to kind of bend this around, line it up, and make some cuts, and hopefully weld this thing all together. Been pounding on this side. Got it close enough to where I can weld it. Then I took my Sharpie and I marked my line in there that I want to cut. Pressed it up against and marked it out. And then we'll worry about this side. Getting a little closer. See. Not bad. Just gonna take a little bit more out on the top on that side, and then we'll start working on this side. What you think, dude? You don't even want to look because it looks bad. Say not bad. Not bad for one side. I think we'll go ahead and we'll start trimming out this side and then get this thing finished up, but looking pretty good so far, not bad. Alrighty, we got the shape going. Let's go ahead and we'll weld up this side, clean everything up, weld the bottom, and then we'll go ahead and we'll touch it up, maybe do some JB weld, clean up the lines and stuff, just ensure it won't leak. And then we'll figure out some paint. Yeah, dude. Alright, we got our basic shape on there. Not bad. The welds look like shit, but it'll hold. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna JB weld around the whole thing, kind of maybe make it a nicer swoosh in there, kind of clean up the edges, and then this thing will be ready for paint. All right, we got the tank on the bike. It's looking pretty good. Gonna mix up some JB weld and just kind of go over the edges, maybe make the transition onto the tank a little bit nicer. We'll let that baby dry. All right, guys, I think that's gonna call it for today. I need to let this JB Weld kind of cure and dry, sand it down, and then I'll probably do one more light layer, clean it up really nice, maybe with some Bondo before we do some paint. But it's looking pretty damn good for not being a fabricator, not being a welder, just a man on a mission. All right, day 2. Let's see how that JB Weld's doing. Kind of went a little bit overboard on the JB Weld around the lip, just because I want to sand it down, make it a nice and round, just so it's not as sharp and stuff up here. Definitely a lot of sanding to do today. I got the paint cutter wheel. Probably gonna finish sanding down the rest of the tank, make this thing look nice. We'll probably primer it up, and then we'll probably call it after that. Let's get sanding. Just did the first little quick sand pass on the tank. It's looking pretty good so far. Definitely needs a little bit more sanding. Gonna change out the pad on there and maybe even break out the paint wheel and start chipping away at this. But we'll keep doing some sanding and then clean this thing up. So I think we got our general shape sanded out. Probably go in with the hand sander and we'll do some more stuff by hand. Maybe do a little couple touch-up spots here and there. Pretty happy with the end result though. I think while we got the paint cutter wheel, I'm gonna go ahead and just rip off the rest of that paint real quick. All right, we got the paint all stripped off there. Let's check it out. Yeah, not bad. It's all pretty smooth. Nice smooth transitions. When we paint it, it'll look pretty nice. Not bad, not bad. Pretty happy with how it's coming out right now. I mean, there's a couple little spots in the JB Weld. I'm probably going to continue sanding this down a little bit more just so it's where the transition stuff is. Got all the paint stripped off. Honestly, that silver doesn't look too bad on there, especially with the silver rear fender. I think we're going to take it back outside, do one more pass with the 60, then hit it with the 120. Did another quick little sand with the 60, then went over it with the 120. All nice and sanded down. There's a couple little spots I'm going to sand down, make the little transition a little bit nicer before I spray some high build filler sander primer. And then I'll probably just spray the primer today because I'm gonna eventually take this over to one of my buddy's house, and we're gonna clean out the inside, reline the inside. Just make sure it's a nice one before I like actually run it. Probably end up putting this tank back on, so I'm pretty sure the JB Weld's gonna hold, so we'll run that one until this one is all inside sealed up and good to go. But let's keep working on this thing. Alright, so what we're doing now, we're gonna tape off the gas. I kind of shoved some little wad in there, and then let's grab a razor blade. Let's see, I put this one somewhere back there. Grab us a fresh blade. And we'll cut this out. Nice. Alright, we got the tank taped up. Got the little spout at the bottom for the petcock taped up. Got our little makeshift paint area set up so we don't get paint on the ground. We'll start shaking up the filler primer. Got the paint all shook up. Let's give it a couple. So after that first coat, did a little bit of hand sanding. That discoloration is just like it's nice and smooth. You can't really tell in the video, but probably gonna take this over to the dumpster area for the next coat. So I think my neighbors are not liking the paint. All right, let's give this thing a few more coats. Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for the stunt tank today. You can see here you got the old tank, new tank, a little bit different design. Pretty happy with how it came out though. Not a fabricator, not a welder, so don't talk too much shit on my fabrication and my welds. But all in all, pretty happy with how it came out. We'll probably do one more round of like a little bit of sanding before we paint it. I'll probably end up doing a rear fender, front fender, and that tank to match. Maybe something a little different, something a little flashy. But appreciate the support. If you guys got any questions, comments, concerns on the tank build, feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram at StuntRob. Otherwise, I appreciate all you guys' support. Make sure to like and subscribe. Peace out.